Hello, hello. I'm here with Mr. Mo Hasan, a good friend. Mo, I know that you've been helping a lot of CEO. You train a lot of corporate to improve and expand their business. And just first of all, can you talk a little bit about yourself so
Sure.
my audience can know about it?
Absolutely. Thank you, Val. Hi, everyone. My name is Mo, and I'm the president of Into Power. And we do corporate training and development for executives and managers around the world. And I myself have been training executives for over 20 years.
Cool.
And I've also written a few books. I've given 2 TEDx talks, and I speak all around the world.
Beautiful. So you've been helping a lot of CEO. So what would you think, what characteristic or the skills that the CEO should have to be able to expand or, organize their company?
Yeah, that's a really good question. So what skills does a CEO need to expand or organize a company? And a lot of times, maybe you have a mature organization and you want to grow it. How do you make it better? Well, the 3 things that I think really surface to the top for me. Number 1 is emotional intelligence, an understanding of who you are, understanding of your emotional states, how your intelligence operates, how do you solve problems. Because the old model, the old Harvard MBA model of command and control, right, that came from the military and got passed into the corporate world, doesn't work really well, right? And we've tried a lot of things over the years. We've tried using a carrot and a stick, and people don't really like the stick, right? They don't like being yelled at, being told what to do, but this is what we find very often. So understanding human emotions, understanding what it means to be a human being, I believe is one of the core components of a great executive anywhere. So that'd be the first thing. Okay?
Amazing, yeah.
The second thing is you need to know an exactness of your business. And what I mean by that is, if you look at the average CEO, what makes a real effective CEO, they have a vocabulary that is wildly larger than the average staff member.
Exactly.
And then people might say, why does it matter? Why does it matter that the CEO knows all these words or an executive would know all these words? Well, there's actually lots of reasons why. But one of the main ones is that if you think about a major problem that happens in any company, the entire staff may be upset, there may be turmoil, there may be drama, and then an executive comes in and in 2 minutes identifies and solves the problems.
Exactly.
So let's come back and examine that for a minute. First is identifying the problem. You see, in order to identify the problem accurately, it makes sense that you've got to actually be able to compose or pose the problem itself. So if you can't identify what the problem is, if your building's on fire and you're outside trying to water the lawn, you're not solving the problem. So to be able to identify where the problem actually is, so getting that exactness in. Okay, so that'd be the second. And the third thing that makes for a great executive is that you must have room in your life to have a vision.
Wow.
Right? So one thing that I say is if you're a C-suite executive, whether you're a CEO, you're a president, you're a chief operating officer, a CTO, a CIO, it doesn't matter. If you're in the C-suite, if you're not allocating at least 1 full workday a week to expand and focus on the vision of your organization, then quite frankly, you're failing in your role. Right? You should step down and become a director. You should step down and become a senior manager because you're not in the C-suite. What makes for a chief executive or a chief operating officer, a chief technology officer, let's take a chief technology officer, for instance. It's not about can a CTO solve the business problem? There shouldn't be handling the escalation matrix on IT problems, but rather the job of the CTO is to look beyond, to look at the horizon and say, what is the mission, the vision of our organization, and what is it that I need to create for my team, for this company, for this enterprise, so that we can solve the problems 5, 10, 15, 20 years down the line. Here's the deal. If you're stuck managing the day-to-day operations of your company, when are you going to create this? When are you going to have this vision? When are you going to solve all these other major problems? So for me, those I would say are the 3 major things that I think any great CEO needs.
Amazing. Thank you, Mo. And I will have more information about that. If you have more questions, you can contact him. He's my Facebook friend. You can contact and ask him more questions about what you do to be a great CEO. Thank you, Mo.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.